We're here at the Q after a 41-10 Chargers victory. Chris Ello, Craig Elston, your 619 sportscasters, and not much to analyze here, Chris. Chargers dominate Arizona, completely blister both Derek Anderson and Max Hall. 8 sacks, couple of picks, and really a laugher today.
I guess my first comment after watching this game is that are both these teams really 2-2?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, the Cardinals leave here 2-2 after that. And, of course, the Chargers are 2-2. So, yeah, that's a hard one. You don't see that in the NFL very often, really, where you just get a game that is so one-sided, so dominating in every way, in every category, that in a lot of ways, it's, like you said, Craig, it's hard to even analyze what you saw.
Yeah, I mean, what we saw was a terrible Cardinals offense that just started turning the ball over and then fell apart once they switched quarterbacks. You got to talk about the Chargers' defense, obviously. Sean Phillips, 4 sacks. He gets a pick 6, takes it back to the house, then tells every reporter in San Diego to shove it and takes off the other way. No comment from Sean Phillips, the Steve Carlton of San Diego sports, but he really did set the tone, and then the Chargers' defense had a lot of fun. They only gave up 3 points today.
Yeah, barely gave even those up. It was a 53-yard field goal. I guess somehow that made Ken Wisenhunt feel better to leave town 41-10. Because I know when I'm down 34 in the final 2 minutes, I always like to pop the field goal in. And then, of course, I kick deep right after that because I'm really not trying to get back into the game. I don't understand a lot of the things that coaches do in the NFL. But I think the defense is something now we have to start taking a little seriously with the Chargers. It's hard again to 100%, start comparing them to the Baltimore Ravens or the Steelers. But, I mean, this is 4 consecutive games where they have pretty much shut the opponent down. I mean, and completely shut them down. Really, they've had one bad play on defense the whole season. That was the 56-yard run by Jamal Charles in the Monday night game. They haven't had another bad play the entire season on defense. So, maybe the schedule didn't allow them to get off to the 4-0 start and the schedule didn't allow them to go 4-0. They didn't take advantage of that. But this weak schedule with really just terrible quarterbacks and terrible offenses, I think it's given their defense a chance to really find a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah, and I wonder what kind of offense the Cardinals really have. If they had Kurt Warner at quarterback, for example, they've got a lot of weapons.
How about if they had Matt Leinart?
Matt Leinart was available early, no longer here.
Not here.
Max Hall is here, and the Cardinals press, they're going to talk about a team that all of a sudden, they're going to talk about Ken Wisenhunt mismanaging this quarterback situation that all of a sudden they have to trust a BYU rookie to try and take them when they're expected to contend for the division. But that's the Cardinals, and this isn't 602sports.com. So, player of the game, Antonio Gates. Maybe you should cover him next time, Cardinals. 7 catches, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you just because Sean Phillips should be the player of the game.
Okay.
Sorry, you get 4 sacks, right, and a touchdown on defense. That's a game. Are you mad that he didn't talk to you after
Gates
the game?
talked to me. Phillips didn't. Gates player of the game.
Okay, so that's why you give it to Gates. Well, I'm sure Sean will be all right with that. I'll tell you one thing. I don't mind Sean Phillips that he's not talking to the media right now. I mean, the knock on Sean for the last 3-4 years has been, well, he always talks, but he doesn't really, get the job done as well as we want him to. So I'll tell you what, I'll take this version. I'll take the guy that goes out there and just dominates and doesn't talk. No, I don't have a problem with that.
And you know what? It would also, and I was mentioning this in Lockman, one of the other reporters, if you go and say, I'm not going to talk, and then you have a 4-sack game, and then you talk, then you were really just waiting for a good opportunity to talk. You weren't taking a stand. So, it's better to keep that line for now. Okay, let's look ahead now. The Raiders and the Rams. Back-to-back road games here. Back-to-back games that everyone said, oh, Raiders and Rams, the L.A. cast-offs, you're going to win these games easy. These 2 road games we've seen the Chargers play already makes me say I'm not going to write anything in stone except that they'll beat the Raiders. 2 weeks from now, I'm still a little bit worried about the Rams, but certainly it's been a completely different Chargers team home and away so far.
Yeah, and that's what I talked to Phillip Rivers about after the game was I said, look, a little easier to not have false starts and delay a game penalties at home. And in 2 games, the offense has been mistake-free. And the 2 games on the road, they've been abysmal in terms of self-inflicted mistakes. And I think what Philip said is the same thing I think we would think, which is you're going to get a holding penalty once in a while. You might have a turnover once in a while. But you can't just keep making penalties before the ball is snapped. And that has driven him crazy, for the 2 road games. So to me, we're 6 days from going up to Oakland, 7 days. But that's the one thing I'm looking at next week. Can they maintain their composure on the road, and it'll be a good test in Oakland and then another one in St. Louis.
Well, not much of a test here today. Chargers win it 41-10. They are now 2-2.